Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our weekly MLM Mastermind Training. I'm Craig Peliquin.
And I'm Dennis Wilson.
And we're doing things different tonight.
We are.
You're actually not going to see much of us.
No.
I know that's terrible, ladies. I know, sorry. But we're going to be actually taking you in behind the scenes into the houraday.com app and showing you all the features behind it. So this is an in-depth training. All about Hour a Day.
This is how to use Hour a Day to explode your MLM business.
Now, we've been sharing, the system and talking about how great it is, but what we're actually going to do today, so many people have been downloading the app over the last few weeks. I mean, you've had more downloads over the last few weeks than you've had in a year. It's crazy.
And it's starting to overload our support team because everyone has questions. How to use it, how to use it, how to use it. So today is all about how to use Hour a Day.
So we're literally going to take you through the sign-up process. If you don't have an Hour a Day app,
go get
it. Download the app,
we're going to teach you how right now.
We're going to show you how to download it on your computer. There is an accompanying app on your iPhone or on your Android, so make sure you do download the app. We're not going to go into the app today.
Nope.
We're just going to go into the back office
web interface.
Of the web interface.
Here come the power.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys kick back and relax. This is going to be a lot of fun. Now, if you do have questions, at the end, we'll take a look. If anybody has any questions as we're going through it, most likely we will answer them.
Yep.
Because we're going to be in depth. But if you do, we won't get to your question right away, most likely.
We won't be looking at it. We won't be looking for it. But please write everything that comes to mind. And if it isn't answered before we're done, we're going to then scan them at the end, and we'll try to get to as many of them as we can in the time we have allowed.
There we go. So without any further, we're going to go we're going to go.
Let's get into it.
Let's get to it. So I'm going to share my screen here, and let's do that and share. Got that right there, and you can see, go to houraday.com, and you're going to go get it free.
Yep.
Free. Gotta love that. Get it free
for up to 2,000 communications or emails a month.
So you're going to put in your email address first. I guess so. If we go Craig, I'll put in my Gmail, and then I'm going to put in my name. And I like the way that the system actually tries to guess what my name is. Yep. That's really kind of cool. It won't be able to guess my last name. It won't know that. It's a complicated last name. And then it automatically put in my phone number. It's not my real phone number, folks. You're not going to get me.
No.
All right. And then you're going to put in a password. So let's just do a password. That's great. And then what is this part here to share this app with others? Pick a username. What's this all about, Dennis?
Well, this is more from a point of view of you keeping control of who in your team is using it, because then you'll be able to see which of your team has actually picked it up. So you can refer this to your team. You don't get anything for it. There's no affiliate program. But this also becomes the actual name that all of your URLs key to. So use something that's creative and fits your company or use 12579, whatever. But remember, this becomes a big portion of your URL that you use in your promotion on the system.
Okay, then I'm going to go Big Daddy. There we go.
Probably taken.
And now it's creating the user, and boom, there it is. That fast. That's all it takes.
You didn't create it.
I didn't even need a credit card.
It's a bit of a trick. Scroll to the bottom. It might not actually be created. See? Preparing oh, now it's created.
Oh.
Aha. See, we give you enough to read that you don't get down to the login button until it's ready for you to log in. So you can read this. This has also been emailed to you. And then down at the bottom, if you want to jump right into the system and start getting ready to use it, you click the login button.
And I should go and like us on Facebook too.
You absolutely should.
Should do that. Okay, so if I click the login button, it's going to log me right in.
It's going to log you right in with Big Daddy and 5678.
Oh.
All right. So now it said you've set My MLM Company set up as your default. So let's say no just for the heck of it.
No,
this is
I'm
wrong.
saying no.
Well, now it actually says, great. Okay, you said no. So actually, which template is closest to your business type? So if you click the drop down, you'll see that there are a whole bunch of different templates in the system that you could use. Some of them are numbered. Some of them are names. The more MLMs get on board with it, the more names there are. So you should be able to find yours. And if you can't find yours, then you come to us and we can help you create yours.
Okay, fantastic. So let's just grab one. Or we leave it at My MLM
Company. So go to yes, or just go back to the yes. Okay, says great. So do you want to send out an email automatically after you add a contact? So this is a logical question because you may be adding contacts and expecting a mail to go out and say, hey, I just added you to do something, and you may not be. So if you say yes, it just goes to the next question and it sets the system appropriately. If you say no, it'll skip the thing entirely and it'll leave you not set up to send an email right away.
Okay.
Because you might be networking somewhere and you need to send something right away, or you might not want to when you download this. So let's say no.
Say no.
Would you like to add yourself as a contact? Yes. Why not? And this is just helping you learn how to add yourself. And it pre-populates everything. And if you want to add yourself to one of the pre-made series, you can select from the subscribe to area and pick one.
Okay, let's pick the, let's go the warm marketing prospecting series.
Perfect.
Why
and
not?
If you want to add a note about yourself, you could. So just put some
stuff in there. Big Daddy.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, you can set your time zone and then you can set your mobile phone.
Okay, well, I'm on Pacific. And I can set my mobile phone. Okay, let's go. My mobile phone is 555-555-5555.
Awesome.
There we go.
And you can set your email because you've asked for an email.
All right, well, I will get my real email because that's Craig Peliquin at Gmail. There we go. I'll put that in.
And then you could.
What's the next add a contact method?
So
what does that mean?
This will actually allow you if you also have the guy's website. So go ahead and click it.
Oh.
So now we can actually select what other information do you want to add for them. So
I see.
This is
fax, email, website, Skype, Twitter, Facebook. You know, I can add all that stuff in there.
Yeah,
oh, that's really cool.
Add as many contact types as you like.
Got it.
Or contact methods.
Now
also click on the more detail. So you can also go so far as to now fill in even more information. So the quick add is just getting their general information for a mailing list type of a thing or the basics in.
Yeah.
Then you can actually come down here and you can actually assign them to a category. You can assign a priority, a company, address,
everything.
Country, province, state, gender, and the next follow-up date can all be set in the more detailed section.
Wow.
You can also even add right off the bat here, you can add them to your Google Calendar based upon your next follow-up date. So there's a whole bunch of functionality here to make sure that you don't waste any time when you actually sit down to start adding a piece of data. So now you can just add yourself.
So I'm going to go to add. Now I'm going to be turned into, we'd like to add another contract. Someone else will say no right now.
Right. So if you said yes, it would bring up that same interface and you could start counting in a bunch of your people to get your team involved or to do some people you want to prospect to.
Okay. We'll say no at this
and
point.
If you say no, it says, great. Do you want to use the survey function to collect from an existing website or by utilizing our sales funnel? So if you say yes, then it's going to walk you through the steps of setting up your survey right here instead of having to dig around going to find how to do it in the system. So let's say yes.
So yes.
So it says, great, here's our survey interface. Please review it and hit next once you've finished. So we've already got a survey set up here that says first name, last name. These are the data fields we want to collect.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to collect different data fields, we could select one down at the select a field. And we could add another one.
Got it. So maybe I wanted to add a Facebook as that.
So you
add Facebook to the survey.
And
so
now
it's asking
you can
for the
also
Facebook.
say whether you want to show it or hide it. So you can have a bunch of stuff and then decide you don't want it. So you click the minus button, Facebook would go away again.
No, it's gone.
And of course, that one field right there is mandatory. So you can decide what you're going to force them to fill in and what you're not going to force them to fill in.
Got it. So you don't really care about the city. There you go. I got it now.
So the art behind surveys is sometimes you ask for a lot of information, but you only make a small amount of it mandatory. Then those that are really serious are going to fill it all in, and those that are just kicking the tires won't, and that helps you to evaluate who you should call back first.
Got it. And if we look over here, what else have we got here? We got here's the survey question.
So here's where we start a question. So let's click the show answers button. So, what do you want us to share with you next? So a random question that if someone came to your website and filled in your form because they were interested, it's going to say, so what do you want us to share about next? More about your products, how to make money, more about you, not interested, thank you.
Got it.
Now, the interesting thing about this is a really powerful interface, Craig. So if you look about the more about our products and you go over to that little notepad thing, this triggers a whole bunch of actions based upon if they answer this question, what do you want to do?
Okay.
So if they answer this question, I want to know more about your products, we can subscribe them to an email series right at the top left.
Got it.
Click that. So we could pick this email series. So if they answer this question, add them to this email series.
Got it.
And then the one below it is priority. So we can say, hey, you know what? If he answers this question, he's hot. I want them to be at 0. So they're at the top of my list to call right away.
Okay.
We can also say this is actually a squeeze survey. So because they answered that, I need to ask more questions. So we can actually pick to make them go to another survey. And this one, because it said more about products, it's dropping them off to the product type survey where we would ask them more questions. Or you can just drop them off to a different landing page altogether. Or you could redirect them to a URL, the redirect URL down below. This is where you'd actually redirect them to some URL that has nothing to do with the hour-a-day system. And then up top, we can also say, well, hang on, he answered this question, which means the other one that added him to that series is no longer relevant. So we need to take him out of a particular series.
All right, and then you also make it a category. So this person here, because they were a product person, you put them as a customer. If it was a business question, you could do something, or maybe they came in something different, depending on how they answer the question.
Correct.
You have the ability to edit all your contacts, and we'll show you that.
Yeah, so you can add as many categories as you want, which I'll show you in a bit. Yep. So go ahead and hit save. Well, it doesn't really matter. Just kill it.
Okay, good.
Okay, so, and then this is available on every answer to every question. So just imagine the power of a well thought out survey, how much you're going to know about these people before they finish your working with the system.
That's fantastic. Okay, so there we go. Once we finish doing it, we click next. And now, congratulations, you're ready to increase your sales using Hour a Day.
Yeah, so now it's basically got sort of all it needs to get you going as fast as possible. And instead of us making you run around to all the links to find it, it's just a little easier way. So let's click here to begin.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right. So from in here, interestingly enough, let's say we wanted to edit the survey, which it forced us to do. We'd simply go over to the left-hand menu. We'd go to surveys. And now we would see all the surveys that are in the system. So the drop-down would show any others we have, and we have a whole bunch. Okay. Yeah. So we could pick one of them, or we could make a new one.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then the same interface applies. So you'll see that here again. Well, let's pick a different one because they've already seen this one. So let's just pick anyone. Randomly pick business. Why not? And we'll see that we are collecting first name, last name, email, city, time zone. And down below it says, how much would you like to make? Show answers.
The MLM secret.
Oh.
We're about to share with you
the
secret of MLM.
And this is actually the content that can be added to the survey page. So that was very timely.
So
we have on the survey page before the survey, all of this content and this little video before we actually ask them, before the questions actually show up.
Got it. Awesome. So you can go and do that. And this is a great video, MLM secret. All righty. So let's just get that closed down. Fantastic. And there's a survey question. So here. So these are all the questions. How much money you want to make?
So and show answers.
Show answers.
And again, you'll see to the right, the little magic button has a bunch of stuff. It's pushing them to another survey. It's adding them to another contact. So you have all of this control to create squeeze surveys. Now, fortunately, we've pre-populated the content. When you initially were asked what template you want, if you said nutritional, you're going to get one that all fits for a nutritional company that's generic. If you said skincare, you're going to get a generic skincare. So as you set up, you'll be picking the template you want. Yeah. If you didn't come in from a place that already knew. So if your upline shared with you /skincare, that'll automatically populate skincare. Or if your upline's already on a custom template with us and you click their username to sign up, then you'd automatically get their template. So you may have that step already done. If not, it'll come up in the process.
Right. And if you want to create your own template, once you've done this, then they come to you.
Contact us. We'll help work one out to help you build your MLM team specifically.
Got it.
So Craig, why don't you jump in and let's show the add a contact from here. So we saw it briefly in the other section where we were onboarding.
Okay.
But now let's go right into home.
Okay. And
of course, we can use the top.
We can use the top bar here, which is add a contact. So we can go here to calls and contacts and add a contact. That takes 2 clicks.
That's right.
This only takes 1 click.
And that matters when you're really slamming through your LinkedIn system.
Oh, it makes a big difference.
So actually, you know what? Why don't you now show them adding a contact based upon how your book explains how to use the LinkedIn system coupled with Hour a Day.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. So it's really simple. If you're in LinkedIn, and I'm just going to jump into a LinkedIn account here. This is just one we have set up. It's a dummy account. Doesn't exist just for doing these purposes. And I teach people how to add about 5 to 10 new contacts every single day. You can do this in just a few minutes.
Are you getting easy? You told me 10.
Yeah.
I just heard 5 to 10. Let's edit that. 10 contacts a day.
10 contacts a day. So there you go. 10 contacts a day. And it depends on how much time you have to follow up later. But I mean, at least if you do 10 a day, that's 300 people you'd be putting in a month.
That's right.
Sometimes 310, sometimes 280.
That's right.
Okay. But let's just average
290.
There you go. So let's just take a look at that. And that's not taking weekends off.
That's right.
So when you go and search for somebody, let's just do a random, let's search for somebody in MLM. Let's just see if we get any names. Let's find an MLM somebody, and let's go to people, and let's find an MLM. Oh, geez, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Your name came up right away.
Woo-hoo.
And so here's somebody. We're just going to grab it. My name came up there too. But here's Melanie. And so what I would do in the situation is I just copy the name. So I do Control-C, and then I go into the Hour a Day system where I clicked the Add a Contact. And when I paste the name in here, Dennis, and as soon as I do anything else, it automatically puts the first and last name in for me. I don't even need to think about it.
That's right.
Anymore. The idea is speed here.
Yes.
Now, in my system, I've created something called, this is the LinkedIn Pre-Connect series.
Which you've been kind enough to share with anyone who goes after hour a day.
Yeah, they can go get that. And then that's all I do. I put them in LinkedIn Pre-Connect. I don't put any more information about them right now.
Right.
I don't really care at this point.
Exactly.
I'm pre-connecting. And I go quick add. That's it. Name and LinkedIn Pre-Connect, and then take action. Now, when you click the take action button, because we put into a series that's already been created, you'll notice this. I see we have some common connections and interests. Melanie, it put her name in.
Woo!
What a cool system.
I
wanted to connect with you. I might be able to help each other. And then it put my name in. Oh my goodness. Isn't that neat? So I click copy. Then I go back to LinkedIn and I say connect. And then I would add a note, because what it absolutely says here is that LinkedIn members are more likely to accept invitations that include a personal note.
Mm-hmm.
So I would add a note. I would click the Control V or paste. Now, I'm not going to ask her to connect because it's not a real account.
Right.
That wouldn't be fair. I would then send the invitation, and that would send the invitation out.
Yep.
That's it. That's my system. I send the invitation, then I go and I find the next person and the next person.
So do that. Let's just do that while we're here showing the system. So
Right.
let's show how fast it is.
So to go in again, and we can go and see how fast that is. We go, let's find MLM again. Let's just grab another person.
Just hit back.
I could have just hit the back button, but let's just say we go here. I click on the person's name, another person here. I just go and grab his name and copy. And then I go back to the hour a day system. I have sent the message, but before I click that, I check this box off here.
Yes.
Which says go to add contact. So as soon as I click, I sent the message. It says I sent that for Melanie. Goes right back to here. Control paste. Put the name in. Go to LinkedIn Pre-Connect. Go to quick add, and the whole thing happens again.
Come on,
you can
Craig,
see
one more. You're
how
on a roll.
quickly it goes. Take action. Copy. I have sent the message. Go to the here. And then here I would go to connect, add a note, and paste and send. I'm obviously not sending because it's not real. Guess what? I would do it again. Hit the back, find another person. I could go and add Dennis's name in here. Dennis, I want to connect with you. Now I'm going to show you something. This is neat. What happens here, Dennis? If you do your name, because you have an initial in there, now it comes up Dennis M. Wilson. Okay, so that'll look really well. Hi, Dennis M.
That's right.
So you need to do a little editing on this, folks.
And notice where your cursor is.
Yeah.
Right where you need to do the editing.
Right. So now I've gone and got rid of the M.
Yep.
I don't want to have the M there. I just want Dennis's name. Guess what I do? I put him in the LinkedIn Pre-Connect and I quick add. And the whole thing goes, you can get 10 people added in
about
less
3
than
minutes.
10 minutes. You can do it in less than 10. Takes a little longer at the beginning. Once again, take action, copy, sent message, go into Dennis. And well, we're already friends, so I can't go in and ask you to connect. But this is how it works.
Yes.
Really simple, everybody.
Right.
If you want to see how it does, go to my name, find my name in LinkedIn, Craig Peloquin, and I wrote an entire book right here, a whole thing on how to use LinkedIn effectively to build your MLM business. It looks like that. Find it on there. I explain everything, and there's a link right here on that going to a full training just on the LinkedIn system an hour a day.
One of the previous MLM masterminds we did was an hour-long session where we taught you how to use it and how to do it specific to the LinkedIn.
There you go.
So now we've kind of hammered on how to add a new contact. So let's just start scrolling through the menu and find some other stuff here.
Okay, this is really cool, Dennis. And this is that mentoring function.
Oh, yes.
That's really nifty. So what the mentoring function, maybe you can explain why you put this in here.
Well, I mean, in MLM, it's fairly common that an upline full-time networker has a whole bunch of people in their downline, and they're working with these people while these people have jobs and they're in cars and they're driving and all this kind of stuff. So the upline with his headset on, sitting in front of his computer, he can actually request, or you can request your upline to be your mentor, which allows your mentor to see your whole back office. So he can see that you have a call due, reach out to you to say, hey, we need to do that 3-way call with so-and-so. You have time to do it now, and because you're driving down the road, it's no problem because your hands free, and of course your upline will patch in the 3-way and away you go.
Right.
So it's really meant to allow you, if you're a full-time network, to really support your team easily, because you can literally go into their data. And, you know, we want to say that our downlines will be pushing on us to do all this. The reality is very often our downlines get lazy and don't go look at their system. So now it's in your control to look at their system and push them to make the calls with you.
Yeah.
Much, much more proactive building.
Now, I put your name in first, but you didn't have it. There wasn't a username, Dennis. So I put mine in, and I knew I had one. So I went and I hit request, and then request submitted.
Yes.
So what ends up happening now, you can see that it's pending over here that Craig is going to be a mentor. Now, I would get through my hour a day, I would get that request and I would accept it.
Correct. So it's a double connection, right? Yeah. So I ask if you will be my mentor, you say yes. And then after you've said yes, we're now connected, and I or you can terminate that relationship.
And now I, as your mentor, have access to your prospects to help
everything.
You. When people go through your system, I get notified. So I'm working together with you to help you build your team.
That's correct.
And as soon as I'm tired, if I'm tired of you and you're not a good downline and you're not following the rules, I can disconnect. And if I'm not a good upline, you're not happy, you can disconnect.
That's correct.
There you go. Two-way street. Let's look at other things that are on here.
Well, let's just look at the action list, and let's explain a little bit about what the action list is.
Sure.
Actually, yeah. Let's look at the action list on our demo account. So we're going to quickly flip over to a demo account where we can actually show you an action list.
We're on demo account now. Look at that.
So here's an action list, and there's no social actions to be done. The social actions we had shown, well, let's just go set up a social action. So let's go into one of these fake ones, JK, and let's add a social action, because this is going to now show you, okay, so here we are now. From action list, we've gone into the contact manager. So I guess we might as well start here because we're here.
Yeah.
Contact manager is mission control. It's tracking what emails were sent. It's tracking what happened. It's tracking the answers to the survey questions. It's where you can add and change all the information. Up at the top here, you'll see that it has tabs. So we can actually go into the address information. We can go into the miscellaneous information, which includes things like a client ID number. If you're somehow numbering people, your spouse's name, birth dates, it'll automatically send a happy birthday email. All the holiday emails. You want to get traction, you start sending out a Merry Christmas email automatically. This is your Christmas cards done automatically. All reasons for touches, all reasons to be top of mind. These emails are not recommended to be selling oriented.
Notice Thanksgiving, US and Canada, because we do celebrate different days.
Yeah, Independence Day, Canada Day, Australia Day. So these are a bunch of really cool things that as you set them up, and you can adjust for the number of days. If you want to send them 5 days ahead of the event versus on the actual day, you have that control as well.
Cool.
And yeah, so these are really great ways to just make sure that you have extra excuses to reach out and touch people, to have them think that you're awesome for thinking of them.
There you go. Awesome. That's great. And then you have the custom data tab if you want to make your own.
Yeah, so
you
here
can make custom fields.
Yeah, if you're using it for training your downline and you want to know what's going on, or if you have a particular piece of information that's important to know, they have a back problem, so that makes them a good client for one of your particular products. You can add as many custom data fields as you want.
Email activity right there.
Yeah,
so you can find out if they've actually, person's not opted in. Talk about this opt-in and why it's important up here in Canada.
Yeah, so in Canada, if you send your friend an email promoting your business, you're eligible for $1 million fine. So you really don't want to do that anymore.
Nope.
So at the very best, you would send them the opt-in email that says, hey, would you mind if I sent you information about a business? And even then you should be careful, because really they should have filled in your form saying they're interested, then they get the opt-in. Because MLM is more difficult, if you add a contact to your list before you send an email, it will send the opt-in. And if they don't click on it, they'll never get your email. So you need to make sure you're doing it right. You can't just go and add 100 people to our system and blast out a spammy email. It won't work. They'll all get the opt-in. 3 of them will complain to us, and we will cancel your account. It's not a spam system. So if you're looking for a spam system, hang up now, as we would say in the old days, close your browser, go to Google after you've closed your browser, and open one to use your Google to find someone else's system, because we're not for you.
There you go. All righty. So we got that there with the opt-ins there, and then there's your survey as well.
Yeah, so the surveys actually bring you a bunch of stats. So this would actually be giving you statistics with the ability to edit these particular surveys from here. So if you click fill in, the other thing you can do here is you can use any one of these surveys to collect the data. So say you're talking to someone on the phone, you can actually come to this place to pick any of your surveys to fill in the data. So Someone called you, you're talking to them, you know that you want to know how much they want to make, whatever. You click the little fill in button, it'll bring up the survey to allow you to add these data fields to these people. So here you could put the guy's phone number in if you didn't have it already, and you could say more about your product. So just like they fill it in,
you can fill it in.
Yeah, you can actually fill it in for them. So this gets really handy when you're trying to collect more data and you're specific on a goal that, hey, I'm talking to this guy and these are the 3 data points I want to have. You open that up before you talk to them. You'll be reminded to make sure you ask the questions before you get off the call.
And you can put in, this is for their business card. If you take a picture of it or you're using the
LinkedIn
app
profile picture.
You can take their profile photo if you want to remember who the people are. If you do it, you can upload it, put their face in there. Kind of a cool thing just to be able to have.
And we highly recommend that you put faces in if you're building in the cold market, because the more you put a face in, every time you log into this contact, you're going to see this person's face right above their name. And pretty soon you're going to meet them in public and you're going to know their name.
Yeah.
And you're going to recognize them. So definitely worth the time it takes to go find their LinkedIn profile picture and stick it in.
Got it. Now you can search through your contacts this way. You can add contacts. You can see all your contacts at once. There's a cool search interface. I mean, this is fantastic. Here's your search interface. And you can search by category, by priority, by name, by ID. I mean, you give the ability to search a lot. Notice we have a lot of categories. You don't need to use all these categories. You can customize that yourself. But we give you them all to show you what's available. And you can search by contact belongs to any of these, all the selected categories. I mean, there's so many ways you can search by city, by country.
This is slice and dice.
Yeah.
Right. And let's go ahead and do one. Let's just go ahead for the heck of it and try to pick something.
I don't know how big it's.
Let's go category 2. Priority 2. Hit search. Because here's where the real magic happens here. So now it said, okay, great. Here's 4 guys out of your data of 12 guys that were category 2. And you can see that we have the ability to unselect one that we don't want to take action on over on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Right. And then down below, now we can decide what did we want to do with these 4 people we just searched. So 1, we could say export this data. Okay. And it's going to export a CSV of the data with all the information you've stored about them. We could go email. And then you'll notice that we can actually email from a series email that already exists. Okay. So we could pick one of those.
Yeah.
Or we can just write a custom one on the fly.
Awesome.
And then down below, you can see we have 2 options. We can send it right now in the background.
Yeah.
Or we can say send as a semi-auto email. So this means that it's going to come up on your action list so that you have the ability to then fill in a last little bit. So you got to here, you weren't quite ready to take this action. You fill that in as semi-auto. He'll go over there with what you wrote now, and you need to go get that last bit of information to add, and then you can do it later.
Okay.
You can also add them to a subscription. So we want these 4 guys to be added to an email series.
Awesome.
Right?
You choose which one you want
from any of our series.
Yeah.
And of course, we can choose to delete them en masse. Okay, so very powerful. First of all, you can search and slice and dice your data, and then you can decide what you want to do with that slice and dice data.
Cool. Awesome. That should call us campaigns. Let's go down to campaigns.
All right. So campaigns is all about your email and social media series.
Okay. Let's look at these top ones up here. These are kind of important.
These are critical to get into right off the bat to make sure you're comfortable with the content. So let's look at the opt-in confirmation email.
Boom.
So this one basically simply says, up at the top here, it's showing you that your opt-in content is where the following text will display. So that's a macro. So this is the information you cannot change. You recently signed up or agreed to receive information from Dennis Wilson. Of course, it'll replace your name there. Okay. And it gives you this information. If you try to delete it, it's just going to automatically add it to the top of your email, making your email effectively useless. This is law. This is how you make sure you're not spamming. You must send this, and you can't turn this into a sales newsletter. This content's important. So down here, you'll see all we do in the default is we say, dear customer first name. Then we display the opt-in content, which is the contents of that blue box. And then we say, kind regards, distributor first name. That's it. Now, you could certainly soften this up a bit to say, hey, thank you so much for opting into my newsletter about health and wellness, blah, 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 blah. The following information is our legal disclosure. And then you could say something about kind regards. Just don't delete that opt-in content in square brackets. And by the way, anything in square brackets is a macro. It's going to pull pre-populated data in for you.
There you go. So you do have the ability to go and add a little bit and soften that up.
Absolutely.
Then you have something when somebody new comes in.
Yeah, so these are all your initial emails so that when someone goes through a survey, it automatically sends out a particular information piece from your default survey. So you can control all this content and what survey it's attached to. So if they fill in this survey, this is an email they get even though it's not a survey. Or sorry, even if it's not a survey, series. So this is the first email that'll go out, whether you add them to a series or not. You have the option to make that go out or not have one.
Got it.
And you can also set the time. So if you don't want to go out right now, you can actually set the time.
There you go. And then we've also got here, and we go back one more, we've got the new prospect notification email.
Right. So this is the email that actually just comes to you to say, hey, you got someone. And the only reason you might want to edit this is your upline will get this if you're using the mentoring system. So it is probably worth you saying something about yourself so that your upline would know that this is a notification from one of your guys instead of one of his other downlines guys. So
got it.
It can help.
There you go. So nice and easy. So these things are easy to do. And then these are all the actual campaigns. Now these are all generic campaigns.
Yes.
Generic. You're going to need to go in and customize the ones that you're using to be more specific to your company.
And the reality is this: something's better than nothing. So if you can't get around to customizing them, go read them, use them as they are.
Yeah.
And as you get your confidence up, continue to edit them because you're better off making a touch. Most people don't read your emails anyways.
Right. Let's look at warm market. Let's look at it. Warm market prospecting, edit the emails. If I click on that, you'll see there's a whole bunch of emails. Will you do me a favor? So many of these work right off the bat, and here's the email. Hi, and it puts their name in. So what's your name? Will you do me a favor? And we spelled that the Canadian way. I want to touch base with you real quick by email as I promised I would when I called you. Notice I'm sending this after I called them and asked if I could send them an email asking permission.
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about this. I was hoping you could take a minute to look at something over for me. Here's the thing. I'm looking for folks that just want to be happy. I mean, I'm not going to read it all here. You can read it yourself. Go in there. It's going to take about 15 minutes. You're going to send them to your prospecting sales funnel.
That's correct.
You're not doing the pitch here. Go take a look at my site. It'll take you about 15 minutes.
Yep.
Use the system. So it's all generic. You can use this right off the hopper.
Most of them are usable right off. You can make them better as you get comfortable, but they should all work right out of the box.
And then it follows up, and it does this for a long time. And it's like, look, did you look at the information I sent you? Then a few days later, it's been a few days. Hey, how's it going? Is everything okay? Haven't heard from you. Are you alive?
Yeah.
It literally says that. Could you give me a quick call? I mean, I want to know if you're okay.
Did you get hit by a bus?
What happened? And finally, I get it. All right, it's been like a month. I sent you the stuff. It's bugging you. So you know what? Maybe you want to try our products. They got 100% money back guarantee.
Right.
It's your last little ditch effort.
Goodbye next.
Yeah, you got it.
Goodbye next.
So these are all set up. You can configure them all here. You've got all the different campaigns that are possible in the edit campaigns and the ones that you want to use. So they're all there. Yeah. And then there's some corporate campaigns that are available as well that you can log into.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's lots and lots of content that you can pick from to just need to customize a little bit or just use it right out of the box. The key is this: action supersedes everything. Instead of taking the next 3 weeks to plan how to set it up and make it perfect, if you simply started using it, you would generate conversations. The system does not close people. The system is the thing that makes them feel confident that what you're doing is easy because there's a system.
Yeah.
Don't worry so much about the details. Just get in motion, get some people going through it, get some emails going out, start listening to feedback. If someone calls up and says, you just sent me an email, it doesn't make any sense. Man, I'm glad I got you on the phone and thank you for letting me know.
There you go.
And now you got a conversation.
You do have the ability to email everybody in your contact list. Look at that. And you can sort them as to how you email them.
That's interesting enough. This is the exact same search interface. We've actually chosen to put it in 2 different places because people get confused. So this is actually the same search interface that we just showed you. And once you've selected your people, then you get the option to send emails just like the other place. So we've actually duplicated this link on purpose.
Subscriptions is basically showing you all the people and what series they're in.
That's right.
And what part of the series they're in and what the next one's coming up and where they're at. So this is all the people that is going on. This is all the action going on in the back end.
Exactly.
It just shows it to you so you can see it. I hardly ever go back there to look at it, but if you want to see where somebody's at,
every now and then you've got someone that you're about to call and or they've called you and you wanted to see what they got last. This is a quick way to get it, but usually it's quicker to just go bring them up as a contact.
So website setup, this is really kind of important. This is your page editor. This is your sales funnel.
So this is your sales funnel. So your sales funnel can have as many pages as you want. We've got a bunch of ones that are all stuck in here already with pre-populated content that, again, will work out of the box, right? So first thing, paid well, still not getting ahead. You don't need another job. You need leverage. What is leverage? Completely generic approach.
Yeah.
So this would be the first page of your sales funnel. So click back, Craig, and let's go show them the second page of the sales funnel.
Well, I should go here.
Oh, there you go.
I'll go to presentation this way. I can do it that way, Dennis.
Oh, hey, I like that.
So before we get to leverage,
Right.
and
then
there's a
we
video.
bring up a video that shows leverage, right? Or no, actually, this is where we're asking them, would you like to make some extra money? So this is actually sort of your pitch. This is a super generic pitch specific to the type of MLM you're involved in. If you pick the generic MLM, it just talks about generic MLM. If you pick skincare, it mentions some stuff about skincare, not a company name, not a company product, just skincare generically. All of the content here is available to you to make your own version of a PowerPoint with your own information should you want to. So we make all the content available for you to change so that you can be adding your own flair into it eventually.
Got it. And then after the presentation link, it goes to enter the details. This is now they've watched it. Now you want to find out a little bit more about it.
Pushed them to a survey. So our survey is very, very simple. So it's saying, okay, so about leverage, because they just watched about leverage. And then our survey question is, what would you like us to share with you next? Because they've in that video heard a little bit about a company, heard a little bit about a product, heard a little bit about a way to make money. So now they're going to tell you, I'm not interested at all. You know what? Screw it. It's one of those things and I'm not interested. Awesome. Good riddance. Either way, when they click those answers, all those actions we showed you before happen. Actually, let's go through the actions again, Craig, just in case people didn't see the first part of the video. So here, as you're looking at this survey, all of these answers can have different actions associated with it.
Let's say they want to know how to make money. That'll actually go to another survey.
Right.
And that another survey is the business survey, which is going to ask them other questions.
That's right.
It's going to ask them how they're interested.
So it becomes a squeeze survey.
Squeeze survey. So it goes to the next survey. And that next survey you can actually find in the survey link right here. And that is the business survey. That business survey asks them the questions, here, how much do you want to make?
Show answers.
There we go. Show answers. There's all the answers. I want to make this. And they
based share with you the secret of MLM.
This is an automatic. Sorry, my name was
capture people's interest and open their mind.
There we go. That's the MLM secret. Once again,
that's right.
Great thing. That automatically plays on there because there's an auto play in the
that's right.
In the
yeah.
system.
So the code's auto plays. So even in your preview that you can't see it, auto plays.
Yeah. So, and then there's all the answers to the questions. Based on how they answer the question is going to send them a certain priority, and it's going to do some certain,
and it'll put them into a different email follow-up series. Yeah. So everything that you need to happen comes from how they answer your survey.
If they just want to make enough to save for the child's education, they're going to get a different answer and follow-up series based on saying $100 a month or saying they want to double their current income or all of the above. They're a lot different content. Somebody says, I want to go and double my income.
Let's look at the double my income and let's just show them all. Okay, or that one. And we'll just show them. So if they answer this, then we're actually all at once, we're setting them to our priority 3. We're sending them to the next survey called Team 100. And I don't know if we're adding to a category at this point. We might
not. Well, no,
we might be if you scroll down.
No, we're not.
Okay. So no category. So those actions are all happening because that's how they answered. And if you pick a different one, so this
now they're priority 1.
So now it's their priority 1 and it's team all. Okay. So the next survey is team all. So again, we're pushing them to another survey.
Yeah.
So just for fun.
And I put them in all income category.
Correct.
Right.
So it's tracking every step of the way. So when you're done, you actually can see how they went through the survey, how they answered the survey. The priority goes up and down.
Well, let's show them.
Yeah,
let's actually go into a contact. Let's go into calls and contacts. Let's just go to all contacts right now. Let's grab a contact that went through a survey. So let's just go and grab, we'll see if this person actually went through a survey or not. Looks like they may have. And they did. They didn't go very far. What do you want to share? More about your products. I want to know more about the supplement and skincare. All right. They answered a couple of questions. They didn't go all the way through it. Let's go to somewhere that answered a few more questions.
And remember, this is a demo account. So people are just playing. So I don't know how deep we'll get on data, but.
A lot more deeper.
Oh,
so here's one that answered all the questions. I want to know how to make money. I want to be able to make $300 a month, enough for a larger car payment. I want to do it in under a year. I'm willing to put 3 to 7 hours a week in. I'm willing to spend $100, $250 a month. I am willing to refer people. I'm interested in the business and I qualify.
Hang on, what's this guy's number, man? I got to call him. Like, this is a hot prospect here.
And
like,
you can see
it.
all the different ways that it happened when they changed their priority to 1 because they said they were interested in the business and the series and they got moved. So you can see everything that happened and when it happened. It's really cool.
Although for all of that interest, he never opted into our emails, Greg, I guess.
Yeah,
so we could resend
the opt-in email again.
Yes.
But we all know this is used as a dummy.
Test data, so he might, yeah. But yeah, so everything that you need to do usually comes up in your control panel like this. So if you need to resend the opt-in, you resend it. It won't let you send it more than once a day. So even if you click on it 10 times, he's not going to get it 10 times once a day. Yeah. So once they added their survey details and they got through the squeeze survey, they might come to this page. Yeah. Because they might have been directed to a different gateway page or to an external site like your site to join. Yeah. You just never know.
They may have.
So depending how it was all set up, you'll have different content.
Right. And then you put your content and you put your video in here as what you want it to be.
Yeah.
This would be, this would be a great place to put your video.
In a well-done sales funnel, you'll probably never have someone come to this page unless they've made a mistake.
Right.
Because everything should eventually take them to a specific piece of content. So this is sort of the mistake. Our funnel will never drop them off on this page.
There you go. So anyways, that's how you configure it. You can go.
Well, let's go look at gateway. Sorry, go back to the campaigns, or sorry, website setup, and go back to the page editor. So then here's sort of the last little piece. Down below the sales funnel pages, you'll see just general pages. Yeah. So here's where you can have as many pages as you want so that you're tying links, you're giving people more information, you're sending people from a survey to a particular page. I'm interested in alopecia. Yeah. Okay, great. So you could have a page about that they're dropped off to because they answered that question. So this is all the different pages. So in this case, here's our Do You Qualify page.
Yeah. And we actually have a video that literally says, look, if you got no credit card, if you have no money, if you haven't got a computer or a smartphone, you're not qualified.
This business is not for you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We love you, but you can't work with us because you don't qualify to work with us.
Yeah. So you do need to be going through the sales funnel yourself to be able to check it all out. Yeah. And talk to the person who introduced you. They can give you a sales funnel you can check out yourself. And you can go and see some of the funnels that are working and that are out there. The idea is this is doing all the work for you before they go to your company website.
Yeah. So you want to collect their data. You want to sift and sort them. You want to make sure you know who to call first and who not to bother calling. And I don't really recommend never calling people. But if I have to call a guy that answered survey questions well versus a guy that answered them poorly, you call the guy that answered well first. But I'd still call everyone who takes the time to fill in your survey.
There you go. So other things, so we talked about the survey questions. What's the split test there?
So split testing is just about A/B testing. So if you're doing a bunch of advertising, you can actually create 2 different versions of your landing page, throw the traffic at it, and then it's going to tell you which one got you more click-throughs. So this is your actual A/B testing engine for anybody that's working heavily in the cold market. This will automatically switch between 2 different pages anywhere in the process.
Fantastic. That's a great thing to have. So those of you using it, shorten URL, great little thing that you put together here.
Yeah, this is like the tiny URL concept, but we have a whole bunch of sort of MLM sounding domains and just, and because it's not as heavily used as tiny URL, I mean, it used to be tiny URL. Now it's tiny URL / 15 characters. You can still pick up a lot of 2 and 3 and 4 character usernames if you pick some of our obscure domains.
Yeah, there you
just
go.
Meant to take a big long URL or your company URL, shrink it down to something easy so it fits on Twitter. You can make as many of them as you want.
Phone script pages, these are really kind of cool. So you can actually have, exactly what kind of scripting to have, and you can go and put them all in here so you know what to say. And
yeah, so this literally, a lot of our stuff comes pre-populated with some phone scripts, or you can actually add as many phone scripts as you want. And phone script is just a series of pages in the end. Your upline might have built them and they populate your system. So it's literally based upon this, as someone says, okay, here's a few phone scripts. So here you'd actually pick which one. So you'd come to the actual page. So this is where you edit them. There's another page where you access them from within the contact record, but it would pick you which of the lists do you want, which of the scripts do you want to access?
Yeah. So let's go into a contact record and show them where it comes from. Let's grab one. And you'll see there is a phone script right there. Yeah. Boom.
So here's where they actually show. So you could click on the warm market pre-prospecting script and it's going to say, great. So it literally tells you what to say. Hey, Zeth, it's Dennis. I don't know if it's for you or not, but I recently found a side business that I think if we work together we may be able to make some money. Is your email still didhewin@hotmail.com? Would you mind if I sent you some quick information? Sure. What's it all about?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this would become a link to what to do if they said that, or what, so in other words, if they said, sure, say this. If they said, what's you all about, you just click on that link. It would take you to the next thing to say.
Literally can walk you through
Step
exactly
by
what to say
step.
step by step.
Help you not say too much.
Fantastic. So that's to configure all your stuff. Social Connect. What's that all about there?
This is actually something that allows you to connect to your Twitter account. We know Twitter's dying. We built it while it was dying because it still might make a comeback. But this will actually allow you to do Twitter prospecting as well as control your whole Twitter following and build a following on Twitter. It's a very, very cool tool. So let's all pray for Twitter's revival and comeback, because it's still one of the only, so Twitter is one of the only social networks that can actually go viral and generate you a great big following automatically. All the others have monetized them so heavily that they won't. So let's hope for Twitter coming back.
There you go. Social, miscellaneous. So now we got, let's go into the category wizard. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so here's just a way to easily make a whole bunch of categories. So some people find going into the regular the regular situation, this allows you to make a category and email series and a whole bunch of stuff all at once.
Okay, cool. Great place to do that. Contact insert form. What's that all about there, Dennis?
So the insert contact form, this is where you actually go to create the code to put into your website to actually have a form that'll populate your hour-a-day system happening from your blog or some other external website.
Got it.
Okay, so it'll actually generate you the code to cut and paste into your desired method.
Awesome. Traffic generation. Okay, let's talk about there we go. We got an ad co-op. We want to talk about the ad co-op here in this? Let's talk about that.
So an ad co-op is you can pay us to do your advertising for you, or your upline could run one, to where literally you would buy shares in an ad co-op. You pay us $25 per share per month. We take all the money, amalgamate it, get it into bigger publications, and we generate traffic to your system. So if you are using one of our stock systems, we can guesstimate as to what kind of results you'll have. And if you've edited it, we have no idea. We generate raw traffic to your site. Your site does the selling or prospecting or conversions for you. So the more you change, the more you may do better than our standard systems, but you also may do a whole bunch worse. So you always want to be careful. We suggest A/B testing our idea against yours and going with the one that works. That's why the A/B test engine's in there.
Good. So that's on traffic generation.
So we got insert contact form.
Yeah, well, the same thing. So
and traffic rotator.
Yeah.
So traffic rotator is just a way that if you're doing a little mini ad co-op with your own downline, you can be taking $50 a month off them. And then this will allow you to have any traffic that comes to your site rotate between anyone that you put on this list.
Okay, cool. Statistics. Always good to have stats, right?
Yeah, and we try to bury all this because you can get lost in statistics. So we try to bury it so that you don't find it for a while. So you spend your time building your network instead of looking at statistics. But this is just basically your typical statistic package. In a date range, how many people looked at your site? How many were unique? How many minutes did they spend on your page? What pages did they look at? And what percentage of total page views? So just all your standard information to know if your campaigns are working.
Yeah. And calling log import.
This is if you're using phone burner. So this will allow you to scrape your phone burner info and automatically update what went on during your phone burner session.
Cool. There you go. So that's your miscellaneous section. And then video section.
Yeah, this is a list of all the MLM Mastermind videos that we've done over the years. So this is MLM Training Central. This is everything you could ever want to know. Secrets of an MLM presentation, $1 million training, right? It's everything. Dirty little secrets.
So all stuff. We got a whole bunch of
it. It's our video library. You can go forever learning how to do MLM through that section.
Okay, support section. Dun, dun, dun.
So support is just you need to ask us a question. So you submit a new ticket to us at hour a day, and then our support team looks after helping you with what you need help with.
There you go. That pretty much took everybody through the whole thing there, Dennis. I mean, we got everything going there on the system, how it works. At the end of the day, this is what you want it to look like. No social actions and no calls to be made.
This means you've done your follow-ups. So if you still have time, you need to find out how to get more prospects in the system. So there was a few things we missed, Craig. So let's go down to I think it was still under the miscellaneous. I think we jumped away from something. So go under miscellaneous, go down. There we go. Yes. Statistics.
No, we did that. Traffic gen.
No, but go to statistics because we only looked at website. So there's also scroll down more.
Email.
And there's another one too. So this is actually all of the emails you have scheduled. So if you have 30 emails to schedule to go out on the 7th, you'll be able to click the numbers. So like on the 6th there, click the number 4. This is now going to show you, scroll down. So this is telling you that on this day, all of these emails or social communications will happen.
Got it.
Okay, so you can actually see what's coming up, how big your workload is. So this is very cool. So go back to miscellaneous and scroll down and statistics. And let's go look at notes statistics. So a lot of times what happens is when you've had a big session, your big session leads to an awful lot of notes being left. And you're like, what did I say to that person? Who was that person? I remember I wrote a note about the pink flower to her. Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Here's how you find that person in the sea of what you did that day.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay. And then we got statistics, survey statistics. And this is one that people get lost in because it's fun. So everybody loves survey statistics. So search all data, yes, and hit report. Otherwise, you can, of course, search by date range. So here's the first survey, which is, what do you want to share next? Show statistics, Greg. We see that 12 people have answered, and 2 out of 12 said more about the products, and 11 out of 12 said how to make more money.
I mean, one person said they want to do both.
That's right.
That's why you're going to get through. That's why it's not.
Yeah.
It's over 100%.
And so this is the neat part. So if you scroll up to the top, you can pick a different survey, and we can check all of that. So let's check
Business.
Sure, business, and hit report. And now we can go show statistics for each answer. How much would you like to make? Well, look at that. 37.5% would like to replace their current monthly income. 25% all the above and then some. 12.5% double. And so interestingly enough, replace and little tiny bits of money outfavor great big income claims. This is a hint. Don't use great big income claims when you're prospecting. People aren't interested. And how fast would you like to do it? 50% under a year. Hey, we're in a hurry. This is good. Let's go to the next one. Show statistics. And, you know, so the problem here is when you really get a lot of traffic, you can get lost in here going, isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Hey, Craig, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Yeah. So it's really, really cool. It's actually not that important, but it's always enlightening.
There you go.
So now we've covered off that. I don't think we have a whole lot more. List creators so list creator is a function that if you've downloaded our MLM list creator application, you can actually use this place here to connect and suck that data out of that application and automatically populate your awesome contact list with the list creator data that you took the time to painstakingly create.
Fantastic. And I think we got live help. Obviously, I haven't downloaded it because it would have given it to me, and I haven't downloaded it. So there we go.
I mean, I think that's a really good first run. I think we can probably let's talk about the little icons up at the top, Craig.
Okay.
So the neat part is I use this system to build my MLM software business relentlessly. So here, this is just some shortcuts, but one of the neatest ones is that little notes icon. So go ahead and click. This will take you to the note statistics we talked about automatically. But more importantly, that little number indexes every time you leave a note. So when I'm on a sales call for my MLM software business, when I'm on a sales call day for my MLM software business, my goal is to get that little notes thing to read 100.
There you go.
Because every time I leave a message, I click a button that sends them an email saying I left a message, and that is a note which counts there. So the more calls I make and the more actions I take, and I go do my 20 or 30 social action things, if I really push it hard, I can get 100 notes in that thing. So my goal is 100 notes. I don't always get there, but it's amazing. When I get to about 80, no way I'm quitting until I get to 100.
And now this little number here starts at 2,000. You get 2,000 communications a month on the free system. And every time you do a social action, an email, and you use the system, not adding a contact.
Nope.
But you do something with that contact. It's part of the system. That goes down. So you see on the test account, we did 3 social actions.
Yeah. And we used up 3 credits.
If
you do a business card scan from the app, it uses up 1,000 credits. So once you're on the paid version, we recommend that the business card scanning thing is a great time saver at networking events. When you're on the free version, it'll eat up your credits real fast.
Yeah. So there you go. But, that means you could have 500 connections that you do 4 things with a month.
Once a month.
Yeah, once a week.
Once a week, you can be sending information. Yeah. So it's lots of capacity. And then don't panic When you're over 2,000 communications a month, it only becomes $29.99 a month to buy the system. So,
there you go. And then you got 20,000 communications.
and you got 20,000, and from there you can go to 50,000, you go to 100,000. And if you need more than that, talk to us. We'll work something out.
There you go. So hopefully, everybody, I want to stop our camera. There we are.
Hey.
So hopefully that gives everybody a little bit of an idea of a deeper picture of what the app, what Hour a Day does. Now you've seen the inside. I mean, you got a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, so take it slow. Start with your action list. Start with adding a few contacts. Start with making some phone calls, taking some notes, and go from there. Like, you don't need to learn it all at once. Just start using it. Action supersedes everything. Go and get MLM List Creator. Build your list. Bring it into Hour a Day. Schedule with your upline how you're going to approach who on your list, right? Yep. So it's, do something instead of nothing. Start playing with it. Our support team's there to help. They're usually there from about 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. Pacific Standard. 7 p.m. till about 11 p.m. most days, not weekends, Pacific Standard Time. So lots of time for people to help you. Ask questions. My staff is there to help you.
All right, everybody. Now you know about Hour a Day. We'll be here next week, and same bat time, same bat channel.
And if you'd like to get a free version because you don't already have it, houraday.com.
You got it.
Thanks.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.